is Win News.
Tonight, environmental swabs test positive for the same salmonella strain responsible for an outbreak. A funding promise to transform Bulletin Hospital. And full steam ahead for a controversial land release near Albion Park. Good evening, I'm Karen Johnston.
I'm Jeff Phillips. Also tonight, another man charged over historical sexual assaults on children in Goulburn.
And a bargain price tag for an abandoned Illawarra mansion.
The New South Wales Food Authority has confirmed an environmental sample taken from a Illawarra bakery which tested positive to salmonella is the same strain which impacted residents during an outbreak. 31 people were infected and 2 residents died. All cases were linked to IRT aged care facilities through its catering arm.
This has been an ongoing investigation which has come to a head today with confirmation that the rare strain of salmonella has been found at Illawarra bakery, Better Made. Since January 21, there's been 31 confirmed cases of salmonella from 10 aged care facilities in the Illawarra, Shoalhaven, South East Sydney and ACT. 28 are from IRT centres. New South Wales Health has confirmed all impacted residents were infected with Salmonella bovis morbificans, a rare strain which has been linked to fertiliser. IRT kitchens were given the all clear by the New South Wales Food Authority. The investigation then turned to food suppliers. Products, ingredients, equipment and environmental swabs were taken from Better Made on February 17. A week later they were confirmed as positive to Salmonella species. Today, in a statement, the Food Authority said that one of the 4 environmental samples taken is the same strain which affected aged care residents. 3 other swabs are still outstanding, going on to say that 8 food samples have also tested positive to salmonella. However, it's unclear whether it's the same strain. Better Made was contacted for comment today. A representative was unaware of the test results when Win News spoke to them. IRT says it's confident it's done everything to contain the outbreak and it's working to return to the full menu as soon as possible. Now, the Food Authority won't confirm if it's investigated all of the suppliers, but it says that investigation is still ongoing.
The Northern Illawarra community has been fighting to restore services at Bulletin Hospital for years. Now the Health Minister has announced a more than $30 million facility will be built, including a primary healthcare centre, training centre and aged care facility.
It was earmarked for a $14.5 million aged care centre for excellence. Now, in a shock announcement, an additional $19.3 million from the New South Wales health budget has been allocated to build a much larger facility.
It will include a primary healthcare centre, inpatient capacity for up to 60 beds in terms of aged care. It'll have additional resources like imaging, pathology, pharmacy, and many other things beside.
The beds we have are going to be high acuity, the sort of patients that have been responsible for some of the assaults that have gone on here because the current building really isn't fit to look after.
Not-for-profit aged care provider IRT will be co-located on the site, contributing $10.8 million towards a high-care residential aged care facility.
And so what we're proposing for this building is that it incorporates that dimension, teaching, research, and a whole range of other things that will allow us, we hope, to improve the quality of aged care across the whole Illawarra.
While it may be a new multi-million-dollar project, an emergency department won't be reinstated. Are there provisions in place to allow for that potentially to occur?
No, this will be an excellence. This will be a centre of excellence for aged care.
A scoping study still needs to be completed to decide the location. The preferred option is the car park opposite the current hospital site. Parking will also be addressed in the study.
We believe we can get the bulldozers in this calendar year.
Melissa Russell, Win News.
New South Wales detectives have arrested and charged a 4th brother from a religious order over historical sexual and indecent assaults on children in the Goulburn area. Investigators arrested the 63-year-old man this morning at a Sydney residence. The alleged offences occurred while the man was a Christian brother at a Catholic school in Goulburn between 1984 and 1987. The man appeared today before Burwood Local Court.
It's been at the centre of court battles and aggressive lobbying, but now developer Lendlease is releasing the first land lots at its controversial Calderwood Valley development west of Albion Park. But a recent surge in interest means land could be hard to come by.
After years of planning, more planning, disputes and deals, the grand vision for Calderwood Estate is being realised.
This is one of the largest urban development projects ever undertaken by a single developer in the Illawarra.
Nearly 5,000 homes for 12,500 people, spread across 700 hectares. The project that's worth more than $2 billion hasn't been without controversy. There's been Planning and Assessment Commission backflips and Land and Environment Court challenges. But come March 28, its first lots will go on sale.
We have been inundated by the local community since we opened the doors here at Shell Harbour Mall.
40 lots will be available in the first release, going from $175,000. Over the past 6 weeks, more than 1,000 people have registered their interest.
From first look, I like it. I have to see, of course, the physical place.
And therein lies the hard sell. The development is all part of a 20-year master plan, so buyers need a bit of imagination to picture how all of this will become a reality. But even then, it's still a work in progress.
There will be a town centre, there will be shops, there will be schools, there will be parks. They've all been planned over the life of the project. They've all been locked in a planning agreement with both the state government and local councils.
Subject to demand, more land will be released next month. Its expected construction of homes will begin after Easter. Rob Morrison, Win News.
Deputy Prime Minister Warren Truss says infrastructure is vital to the future of Australia's regional economy. He told a major agricultural conference in Canberra producers rely on roads and rail being at their best.
Day 2 of the ABARES conference saw the Deputy Prime Minister take centre stage in front of hundreds of delegates. Taking the opportunity to spruik the federal government's investment in regional economies, the Deputy Prime Minister said infrastructure cannot be underestimated when it comes to a prosperous farm sector.
Connecting our producers in the mines and farms of regional Australia to their ports and their international markets is obviously critical for the future of those industries and guarantees that our nation's economy will grow on the strength of the productivity of the regions.
Many of ABARES' forecasts paint an optimistic future for the majority of agricultural sectors. Warren Truss says the opportunities to improve on this are enormous.
We have this huge market in Asia, which is just opening up in every possible direction. There are so many markets that we will just never be able to supply them all.
The conference also heard China is an important destination for Australian farm exports.
China's growing very rapidly. People worry about the Chinese growth rate, but it's still growing at over 7% per annum. The economy's doubled in the last 8 years.
Another area in which ABARES is predicting growth is the dairy industry. The farm gate price of milk is expected to rise from 44 to 46 cents a litre. And after a challenging year for the sector, dairy exports are expected to rise slightly over the next 12 months. Matthew Sadler, Win News.
Wollongong City Council is encouraging seniors to take up a new hobby. For the launch of Seniors Week, the Lord Mayor tried his hand at watercolour painting. Artist Elspeth McComb will be giving lessons at Wollongong Art Gallery during Seniors Week.
Oh, I think it's great to get seniors involved. It's nice to have something to do.
Seniors Week starts on March 14 with activities held right across the region.
This Friday night marks the return to Wollongong's IPAC of one of Australia's most enduring rock legends, John English. The star of stage and screen, including wins altogether now in the 1980s, will be back on stage with his trilogy of rock show, which is currently touring the country. With a band of multi-instrumentalists, including local musicians, English will perform his string of hits as well as classic rock from the Rolling Stones, Queen, Pink Floyd, Bob Dylan, the Eagles, Billy Joel and the Beatles. Tickets are available from the IPAC or at the door. Great show. Head on Win News. Nurses fight for better pay conditions.
And the new program aimed at tackling a parking shortage in Wollongong CBD. Welcome back. New South Wales Cystic Fibrosis is calling for a satellite outpatient clinic at Wollongong Hospital so patients can receive treatment closer to home. 500 people across the state suffer from cystic fibrosis, but there are only 6 clinics located in Sydney and Newcastle to treat patients.
3-year-old Olivia knows before she puts food in her mouth, she needs to take a special tablet to help her digest her favourite food.
Crackers.
Olivia has cystic fibrosis, the most common fatal genetic disease in Australia. Every 3 months, her family travels to Sydney for a hospital visit.
It's a bit of a drag, so it can get you down when you realise that this is going to be her life. So she's always going to have to have doctors involved in her life.
Treatments for the disease have improved, bringing the life expectancy to 37. Over the last 7 years, there has been a 30% increase in the number of adults with cystic fibrosis.
Now, for the first time in human history, we actually have more adults with CF than we have children, which is just wonderful. But unfortunately, health services, particularly in the hospital system, hadn't kept track.
Rory O'Keefe knows all too well the struggle of getting treatment as an adult living with cystic fibrosis. He's stuck in hospital at least once a year.
Up to RPA in Newtown. That's where my specialist is. And I think the other one's at Westmead in Sydney, and there's one more in Newcastle.
Cystic Fibrosis New South Wales says a satellite or telehealth clinic in Wollongong Hospital could fill the void.
That would be an enormous help to families, not just from Wollongong, but of course from further south, so that we can alleviate at least some of the burden of them travelling to Sydney for specialist treatment.
Miley Hogan, Win News.
Nurses are up in arms and say they have no other option but to stop work. Close to 100 nurses from the Illawarra, Shoalhaven and South Coast boarded buses today to rally in Sydney against potential threats to their penalty rates.
They are the helping hands for people at their most vulnerable. Now the nurses and midwives are the ones needing help.
Who wants to work night shifts? Who wants to work afternoon shifts? And who wants to work weekends? People get sick 24/7. They don't get sick Monday to Friday, 9 to 5.
Up to 30% of take-home pay is seen in penalty rates being worked. So this is an issue.
It stems from the federal government's decision to ask the Productivity Commission to review fair work laws. Greens candidate for Wollongong, Mitchell Bresser, along with Kiama Labor candidate Glenn Colomitz, showed their support as members boarded buses for the Sydney rally. Minimum nurse-to-patient ratios, also an ongoing battle with the state government.
It's not in black and white, so the government can pull the pin on us any time. We did get ratios at Wollongong, we got them at Port Kembla, but Shellharbour hasn't and Nowra hasn't.
The Health Minister says nursing hours per patient is what matters.
You want to have the flexibility to put more nursing staff on that ward. You don't want a fixed ratio.
Ratios can also be expressed as a nursing hours per patient day equivalent, and that's something that the Minister and the current New South Wales Government and Ministry of Health continue to ignore.
Melissa Russell, Win News.
The abandoned mansion of businessman John Caceres has been sold, complete with a 25-metre lap pool, 20-person spa, 9 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms and 100 acres of riverfront land. The property was sold on Monday for $1.32 million. The buyer is reportedly planning to restore the building and use it as a private South Coast escape.
An online company believes it has the solution to ongoing parking problems in the Wollongong CBD. It's launched a website for commuters to book a parking space in advance. The catch is you have to park in somebody else's driveway.
Lapping the block searching for a park, moving your car every 2 hours to avoid a ticket, or reversing into a last resort space on the curb are frustrations many Wollongong drivers are familiar with.
It's a bit of a joke, isn't it?
And most of the time I have to get here about an hour early to get a good park for work.
They've just cut all the parking out of the Dwyer's place, putting new apartments up everywhere, but there's no extra parking. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse.
Online company Divvy says it has the solution. By logging onto a website, homeowners can advertise their driveway as a parking spot. The driver just has to log on and book it, but it will come at a cost.
If you have a vacant space, you can list that on the site. It's completely free. You set your own price. You can either lease it out or rent it out on a 24/7 or set particular times during the week that you want to rent it out.
The company is targeting parking issues in the city, near the hospital and also around the university. Wollongong Council provides just over 1,700 parks in the CBD. While it's working on providing more spaces, it believes the problem could be eased if people left their own cars in their own driveways.
It's sensible to use the public transport. We're one of the few cities that has a green shuttle bus, and that's free access to the city on a bus.
Miley Hogan, Win News.
Sport is next with Amy, and the NBL shares its views on the troubles at the Wollongong Hawks.
It does, Jeff, and we'll see what the league's chairman has to say next. Plus, Trent Merrin vows to give his all in his last season in the Red V. In sport, with the future of Wollongong Hawks up in the air after being placed into voluntary administration on Monday, the NBL has finally broken its silence. The head body wants to see the club survive, but says the competition would still remain viable if it loses another team.
One quote published in the media of NBL headquarters following the announcement that its only foundation club had gone into voluntary. Graham Wade spoke out.
The NBL's certainly working behind the scenes and, on front stage as well, trying to do all we can to help the Hawks. Financially, we can't continue to subsidise the Hawks. We're assisting with quarantining of some debt in the past.
The chairman is hopeful Wollongong can solve its financial issues and continue its long history in the league.
We're vitally interested in the developments that transpire down there over the next month or so, hoping that the town really get behind the club and support it in a way that makes it viable.
And the Hawks were to become extinct, that would leave just 7 teams left in the national competition.
In those numbers, the NBL have been dealing with entrants and exits from the league for many years, and nothing that can't be worked from our end.
The Townsville Crocodiles are also reportedly on the brink of closure, and grand finalist Cairns have also been there before. The Taipans now run on a community-owned model, similar to what the Hawks did before being bought by James Spenceley at the start of the season.
They're a foundation club, a big part of this league, so yeah, we definitely want them around. Yeah, hopefully they get everything together. That's a fighting community down there, that's a close-knit community, and they can come through this.
Tim Robinson, Win News.
St George Illawarra star Trent Merrin has opened up for the first time today about his move to Penrith at season's end. The Shellharbour junior says his heart will always be with the Dragons and he's looking forward on going out on a high.
On Monday, when Trent Merrin announced he'll be a Penrith Panther for the next 3 seasons from 2016.
I think I had a few questions I need. Penrith answered them all. It's something that's just going to refresh me and reboot me.
Weighing up his options since the end of last season, the teammates was the hardest thing.
It was the toughest thing I've ever had to do, and that you hold in high regard and you respect at all levels, and to tell them that you're going to depart the group. It's definitely one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to do.
Named on an extended bench for round 1, Merrin says
I've given them possible. It's every time I put that jersey on, I'm real passionate and I love it. And I know that as the year goes on, it's going to get closer to the last time I put it on. So every time I put it on, I want to give 100%.
Today, St George Illawarra and the University of Wollongong launched the Graduates of League program, with more than 20 NRL and NYC players set to study this year.
I don't think I would have finished without the help of the tutors who helped me through those final 6 subjects. It was great being able to, I suppose, call on someone, email someone at times when I was really struggling.
Tim Robinson, Win News.
The NRL and Illawarra Rugby League have held a Women's Rugby League Come and Try Day at Zeems Park, Corrimor. The afternoon session attracted girls interested in learning the skills of the game, with NRL development staff and Australian Gillaroos fullback.
And it's something we need at the moment. A few years ago we had about 8 teams in the competition and it's down to 4, and the commitment. So something like that today is a really good thing to get more girls on board.
4 held to represent Australia, with interested players encouraged to sign up to a local club ahead of the upcoming season. Now, there's some sad news to finish with. Former Illawarra Steelers coach Terry Fernley has passed away at age 81, Jeff.
So, no, thank you, Amy. The weather details are next. Then the Navy takes all.
The block's toughest week yet.
Love it.
Who will crack on and who will totally crack it?
With less weight and carbs. Helga's Lower Carb. Bread's back, baby.
Go graphic with new Master Graphic Liner from Maybelline, New York, with a triangle tip for bold or thin lines. And intensify your look with new Pumped Up Mascara, our biggest brush for our most extreme volume. New Master Graphic and Pumped Up, only from Maybelline.
Model clearance is on. This means you can get into a...
Bit of a hot and sticky autumn day today as we have a look at the satellite. Patchy cloud over eastern New South Wales near a weak trough is producing the odd shower and some thunderstorm activity. That trough is directing hot air over the northern inland. Skies are clearing over the south near a strengthening ridge of high pressure. Onto the synoptic chart, a trough will send hot winds across northern New South Wales and southern parts of Queensland to the coast, then bring a cooler change. Troughs will trigger storms in the tropics and inland WA, hence all that cloud. Temperature-wise today, Wollongong to 26 degrees, Bowral peaked at 28, Nowra hit 26, 24 the maximum in Ulladulla, Bega peaked at 27, it was 24 in Merimbula, Eden 15 to 23. The forecast for the Illawarra on the Highlands, it'll be partly cloudy Thursday with a slight chance of a shower in the morning and early afternoon. Winds west to southwesterly, turning south to southeasterly. For the south coast, a 30% chance of a morning shower before a mostly sunny afternoon with light winds. Seas are running at 1 to 1.5 metres on a 1 metre swell with the first tide tomorrow, a low at 2:45. The high comes rolling in at 9 o'clock. Tops for tomorrow, Eden 21, Merimbula 20, Bega in 21, Narooma 21, the same for Maria and Bateman's Bay, Ulladulla 22, Nowra 23 and 22 for both Bowral and Wollongong. Looking further ahead, mostly sunny on Friday and Saturday with a 40% chance of an afternoon shower.
And finally, some of the Navy's finest have helped put women pilots on the map and raise funds at the same time. 3 helicopters as part of the Women's Pilots Relay for Flight.
Natalie Johnston arrived at work today. She suited up alongside other Navy aviators, all female, for the women.
It's one of those things that's the first time it's ever happened, and to be able to get around Australia or with all female pilots flying the baton is pretty amazing.
Coinciding with International Women of Aviation Week, the relay is a chance to show the contribution and raise money for the Cancer Council.
I think it's fantastic to get women in aviation in general because they're not very well represented basically Australia-wide and even worldwide in aviation.
Sally Malone had the honour of carrying the baton from HMAS Albatross to Banks 14 years ago.
It's something I've always wanted to do, I can't really explain it. And from there, went fixed wing on 2 helicopters with the Navy.
After all the routine checks, it was time for liftoff. Lieutenant Malone's Squirrel helicopter, flanked by an MRH-90 and a Seahawk, made its way north, taking a slight detour over the Sydney Harbour Bridge. The relay will travel around the country, finishing in Launceston on April 22.
The relay itself aims to raise $20,000, of which they're halfway through, and we've aimed to raise $3,000 of that.
Rob Beaumont, Win News.
And that is Win News for Wednesday the 4th of March.
To view some of our reports, visit the Win News Illawarra Facebook page.
Join us for the All Australian News at midnight and again tomorrow for the best 90 minutes of news from 6. Good night.
Good night.
This has been a Win News
4th of March.
To view some of our reports, visit the Win News Illawarra Facebook page.
Join us for the All Australian News at midnight and again tomorrow for the best 90 minutes of news from 6. Good night.
Good night.
This has been a Win News.